welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Bonny, and on my channel we speak everything about skincare and makeup. So it's the end of 2020, and as the title suggests, today I'm going to share my favorite, the best of 2020 from makeup. I've already done a video on my best 2020 skincare favorites. If it's already up, I would link it in the description box below. If it's not up, it would be up in the next 2 days. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. If you want to see more videos on makeup and beauty, please hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell so that whenever I upload a video, you'll get a notification that it's up. And now without further ado, let's get into my favorites. Because it's the best of 2020, I'm going to take my top 1 out of every category. So we're going to start from the base up. First, when I start my makeup, I always start with a primer. So my favorite primer has been the Tatcha, the Liquid Skin Canvas. I started wearing this in April 2020 and I have been wearing it non-stop. I bought this bottle in April 2020 and I don't know, it's a very opaque bottle, so I don't know how much is left, but I'm using the same bottle, so that means it goes a very long way and it is so beautiful. It refines the pores, it gives a very luminous effect, and I think even it gives a very beautiful finish. It keeps my makeup in place the entire day, so I love this primer. After my primer, I do have under eyes and I do have a bit of pigmentation around my face, so I always like to use a color corrector. This is again a product that I tried in April, and that is the Bobbi Brown color corrector. It has a very peachy shade. They have different shades in this. I use the medium tone. It is the corrector, so it is in peach. So they have different shades in it. I just use it with my fingertip. I take a bit on my fingertip and I use it on my under eye, around my mouth, and by the crevices on my nose, and these are the areas that I normally have a bit of pigmentation. I'll show you the foundation I'll be talking about today, and it's a very lightweight foundation, so I like to do a little bit of color correcting before I wear my foundation, so that I'm not a very big fan of concealer. So the days that I feel I don't want to wear a concealer, I just use a color corrector, I use my foundation, and I'm good to go. After my color corrector, I use my foundation. My favorite foundation for this year, I've already spoken about it, is my top 5 foundation, and it's my number 1 on that as well. That is the Smashbox Halo. I know it is not a foundation, they call it a tinted moisturizer, but for a moisturizer it really gives an amazing coverage. And this year 2020, we are not going anywhere. We've always been at home. I work full-time, so the day I have Zoom calls, I like to have something that I can just rub it with my fingers and put it on my skin and I'm good to go. So this has been my favorite for the entire year. It's the Smashbox Halo Healthy Glow All-in-One Tinted Moisturizer. It does have SPF 25 and it has a primer infused in it already, but I still use a primer. I speak more in detail about this foundation in my top 5 foundation video. I'll link that video also down below so you can go and see more about this. So this is my favorite foundation for 2020. After my foundation, if I think I want to go for a little more glam look, then I use a concealer. But if I use a color corrector, normally I don't use a concealer. This year I've always gone towards the Dior Forever Skin Correct. This is a full coverage concealer, but it still blends so very well on your skin. It's so easy to blend. You can blend it with a brush or a beauty blender or even with your fingers. It is that simple. It blends out so easily and it still gives a very skin type finish. It brightens your skin as well. I don't like cakey concealer, and this is the concealer that gives an absolute skin-like finish. So I love this as my concealer for 2020. So the moment I use my concealer, I have to set my concealer with powder, because I do have creases on my under eyes, so it is always good to set your concealer as soon as they've applied. My favorite setting powder for this year has been from Charlotte Tilbury. It is the Airbrush Flawless Finish. It's a complexion perfecting micro powder. So this is the powder that you can use all across your face, just not under the under eye. I have dry under eye, so most of the setting powders, they make my under eye even drier. So it was very tough for me to find a powder that gives me the blurred effect at the same time, would even keep my under eye hydrated. So this is an amazing find of 2020. I love this. It gives me a flawless finish. So not only under the eye, I also use it anywhere on my face where I use my concealer. So I use this powder to set my concealer, and even you can put it in your purse. If I go out, we haven't been out a lot of times, but if you're going out and you want a touch up, you can still use this and it would give you a beautiful finish. After my under eye is set, I like to do my brows. This is a brand that was launched during the pandemic. It is Rare Beauty. It is from Selena Gomez. The pencil is amazing. It is so soft but still very pigmented. Normally if a pencil is very soft, if it's that creamy, it's not pigmented. It just, the color fades away in some time. But this is a soft pencil which is creamy and still it has the pigmentation lasts for a very long time. The best part, it has a pencil on one side and on the other side it has a brush. So it has a gel. It is a tinted gel. Sometimes if you don't have the time to define your brows, you can just use the gel because it's tinted. Just brush it over your eyebrows and you're good to go. So this is a very quick, easy and beautiful eyebrow pencil. After my eyebrows, I try to do my eyes. Normally I keep it very simple. I just use my bronzer. It's just to define the eyes. I use my bronzer over my eyelids and I'm good to go. But there's one eyeshadow palette that I've loved this year. Again, it was launched during the pandemic, and that is by Nikki Tutorial and Beauty Bay. I love the way the palette looks. They have two mirrors on each side. One gives you a magnified look and one gives you a normal look. The reason I love this palette is it has a variety of colors. It also has the basic brown tones that you use on your daily wear, and it also has the punchy colors. So like the fluorescent yellow or the orange color is something that you can just put in your inner corners and call it a day. Or if you want a pop of color, you can always use the green, the blue shades on your waterline and give it a pop of color. Or the glitters in these palettes are amazing. I'm wearing Mila on my crease with 5 AM and I'm wearing Mr. Tutorials all over my lid. That is all. These are the 3 shades that I'm wearing and it gives the beautiful glow. I know normally when you look at a palette that is this colorful, you would not go for it, but I would suggest give it a try because it has your neutrals, it has your warms, it has your pop of colors, and it has the beautiful glitter shades in it. So this is my favorite of 2020. My eyes are done, my eyeshadow is done, but always I like to use a Kohl pencil, and my favorite Kohl pencil for this year has been the Makeup Forever. It's been in the market for a long time, but I wonder why I did not give it a try. It is a one-stroke pencil, I would say. They could have named it as a one-stroke pencil because I just use one stroke on my waterline, one stroke on my tight line, and it gives me the amazing pigmentation. I've just used one stroke and I tried to blend it out and it gave me so much pigmentation. It is beautiful. I love this Kohl pencil. They have this in various shades as well. I have chosen the color. I have chosen black right now, but I mostly use the brown color and it's equally beautiful. My favorite eyeliner for this year is I always like a liquid eyeliner, and I've always used a brush tip liner because I feel it's more flexible and it's easier for me to use. I never thought that I would like this, but this is the One Size Beauty. It is a felt tip liner. I do not like felt tip liners, but this is the first felt tip liner where I feel it is a felt tip, but it still has the most amazing flexibility. You can just keep it in the corners of your eyeline and flick it out and it would give you the amazing winged liners. So even if you are not well versed with winged and you want to try it out, I think this liner would help you because it is flexible enough for you to do your eyeliner, to do the curve, but it's still firm enough to give you the flick for the winged eye. So it is awesome. It's an amazing eyeliner. So after the waterline and tight line, I do my mascara. The mascara that I've loved this year is the NARS Extreme Climax. They did come out with the NARS Climax mascara first that has a red bottle. I tried a tester and it was okay. It's not that bad. It's not amazing. But the extreme black is awesome. The only drawback is it is too wet. When you pull out the tube, it comes with a lot of mascara in it. It gives me volume along with length. I don't look for volume in my mascara. I've always been a girl who loves a mascara that gives you the length, not the volume. But this mascara, it gives you volume and length both together. Seeing the drastic difference it makes to your eyelashes, and I love this. Now that my eyes are done, I go to the rest of the face. So now I do my bronzer to give more dimension to my face. And the bronzer that I've loved, I've used it last year as well. I've used it, and this is the only, I did try a few more bronzers this year, but this is the bronzer I generally tend to go back, and that's the Becca Sunlit Bronzer, and it is in the shade Bronzed Bondi. This is a shade that's so perfect for my skin. It still has a bit of sheen in it. Even in pictures, it gives me a glow from within, and it's an amazing bronzer. No matter what bronzer I try out, I always tend to go back to this one. So this is my 2020 favorite. After a bronzer, I do my blush. This is a blush from KKW. I was also surprised, and I normally don't go for this pale a blush. The blush looks very pale. I normally don't go for this pale blush. I like a bit of pop on my cheeks. But surprisingly, this has been very pigmented, and it gives a very beautiful glow on your skin. I always like to overdo my blush. So when I use a darker color and I dip my brush in it 2-3 times and then put it on my skin, it's too tough to take off the excess blush later. But this, because it's a very light shade, how much ever I take, I sometimes layer 4-5 layers of this blush on my cheeks, and it still looks the same. It looks so beautiful, and it gives a beautiful glow. It is a matte blush, but it still gives a very beautiful glow on your skin. I don't know how to explain it, but it's beautiful. The shade is Flower Wall. This came out with her Mrs. West collection, with her wedding collection, and it is a beautiful color. I'm sure it would suit all skin tones. And then after I do my blush, I go for my highlighter. This was very surprising because when I saw the color of the highlighter, I thought it's not for my skin tone. It would not suit me. But then I gave it a try. I still think the color doesn't suit my skin tone, but I still go for it. The Cookie Benefit Highlighter. It is beautiful. I've never had a highlighter that gives me this much of glow, and I always have to go with a very lightly packed brush, because if I use a densely packed brush, it'll be all white on my skin. So I use a very lightly packed brush for this because it is very pigmented. So less is more. Use the least amount, use it with a very light hand, and it would still give you the most amazing glow. This is the highlighter. Like, even if I don't use a lot of eye makeup, after I do my highlighter on my cheeks, I use the same brush and just brush it over my eyelids, and it still gives me an amazing glow. It gives me a healthy look on my skin. So I love this highlighter. Alright, so when we talk about makeup, we can never miss the lips, right? Even if you don't do an entire face, just do your eyebrows, a little bit of concealer, and your lip, you look put together. So we can never miss out on our lips. I'm going to talk about 2 lips today. One, I like it because of the formula, and the other, I like it because of the shade that they've come out with. So the first I'll talk to you about the formula is from Fenty Beauty. Again, it is, what do they call it? They call it the Stunner Lip Paint. And yes, it is a lip paint because it stays on your lips for a long time. I wear this whenever I go out because I'm wearing the mask, and it does not transfer on my mask. This is a beautiful lipstick. I love the formula. They have a variety of shades. I like all the darker tones. I've tried the nude tone, one of the nude tone, but I did not like it that much. It was patchy on my skin, but I love all the dark shades in this. The lip product that I like because of the color is from Rare Beauty. This is the shade Inspire. This is also the color of Selena Gomez. She says this is her perfect shade. It's very tough to find an orange color because it is a pop of color. It's not like a red, it's a little more brighter. So it's very tough to find the perfect orange shade for your skin tone, and this is my orange shade. I love it. I have pigmented lips, so I have to use a lip liner and then use this one because it has a moussey texture. If you do not have pigmented lips, you can try it without a lip liner. I use it with a lip liner. It's not as long lasting as the Fenty Beauty one, but I love this because of the color. After our makeup is complete, we have to set our makeup so that it stays in place for the entire day, and I have been using this for a very long time. I still use it. I love it. That is the Morphe Continuous Mist Setting Spray. I think this is another secret ingredient because of which my makeup stays in place even after I wear a mask for 30 hours. 30 hours, no, even after I wear the mask for 30 minutes or so. It doesn't suck in the moisture, but it still keeps your makeup in place. I don't know how to explain it, but try it out to see how well it looks on your skin. It gives a healthy glow, but at the same time it keeps your makeup in place. My favorite for 2020 is Morphe. Alright, so those were my makeup favorites for 2020. I'm so happy for 2020 to come to an end. I've gained a lot of positivity, and with a lot of love and happiness, I'm entering into 2021, and hopefully 2021 is going to be a flourishing, beautiful new year for all of us across the world. Thank you so much for staying with me till the end of this video. I wish you all a very happy 2021 and see you all in my next video. Bye.